Hi, I'm Pam Baker, President and CEO of Our Lady of Mercy School for Young Women. The 2021 Spirit Gala is quickly approaching. As with many of our valued traditions, Mercy has had to reinvent and reimagine this critical fundraising event due to the constraints of the pandemic. As so many of you know, a major component of the annual Spirit Gala is the paddle call, which subsidizes special projects and endeavors, including scholarships. Last year's paddle call kicked off our wonderful Leadership Distinction Program. This year, Mercy's paddle call introduces a very special fund, the Come Home to Blossom Fund, which will support all students as they return safely to their routines. Not only will this fund help the students physically return to the building, but it will also help each and every student continue to blossom into a world-class learner and leader. The challenges and costs of the pandemic have weighed heavily on our Mercy community and within the walls of our school. We all know families who have lost loved ones, jobs, and their sense of security. Our girls have struggled with the impact of this stress, socially and emotionally. Through the uncertainty and ordeals families have faced over the past year, Mercy has not only responded on a personal level, but also school-wide. Over the past year, much has been done to ensure our girls have had the best experience possible in light of the circumstances we have faced. In order to bring our girls back on April 19th, much more had to be done and will need to be done. Our classrooms look different due to added plexiglass. Thanks to our beloved Sisters of Mercy, additional spaces within the Mother House have been leased and are being renovated for the expansion of counseling and college services, classrooms, and needed middle school space. In addition, many other COVID costs were added to our budget, ranging from teaching assistants to cleaning crews. In order to ensure the best hybrid learning experience, we've improved and enhanced our IT needs, including video and technology equipment. There is more that needs to be done, including the purchase of air purifiers. Most importantly, to meet the mission to support those most in need, as stated by Catherine McCauley, Mercy has increased financial aid to the best of our ability for families who have lost jobs or significant income due to the effects of COVID. Mercy's dedication to maintaining academic standards and student safety since the onset of the pandemic has been unwavering. As I mentioned, on Monday, April 19th, all high school students who choose to will make their long-anticipated return from hybrid learning. In the fall, Mercy's student body will be reunited once again as we welcome our middle school wildflowers back home to blossom. Mercy girls come from different school districts and backgrounds. They have different strengths, needs, talents, and interests, and all of them flourish when they can grow and learn together. Blossoming at Blossom. We are all doing everything we can to provide an environment that will ensure the physical, social, and emotional health of our students, but we can't do it alone. Your help is crucial to support these efforts. For 93 years, Mercy has meant home for over 13,000 young women. 1437 Blossom Road has been a place where girls can blossom into young women, ready to take on the world. Let's make sure Mercy can continue to support these incredible girls who are so filled with potential and support their families in the ways they most need. At this time, I want to share with you one family's story of how the Circle of Mercy supported them during their time of need this past year. The family of Riley Mahar, class of 2020, was one of the first Mercy families I met when I started working here in 2019. She is part of a wonderful Mercy legacy family. Sadly, Riley's mom Eileen, class of 81, and her grandmother Kathleen, class of 60, recently passed away. The Mahar's message is one we all must hold close to our heart. The strength of the Circle of Mercy depends on you. Please take this opportunity now to make a life-changing positive difference in the lives of Mercy families and Mercy's future. Please help us bring our girls home to blossom. Thank you.
Eileen had kind of always suffered from a bad stomach, and after Christmas it really got very bad, and she went and didn't go to the doctor until early May, and they diagnosed her on the spot that she had pancreatic cancer, and took her straight away to hospital within a couple of days. And we tried to get her in to get chemo, maybe to be able to fight it a little bit, but the cancer had passed in through her body, and it was pretty much terminal.
I brought her to blood tests. I was like her driver for most things because I was home a lot, so I drove her to get a blood test, and that night they called us and they were like, you need to bring her to the hospital immediately. So she went to the hospital and ended up staying there for 2 months, and that's where she passed away.
And then she passed away on a Saturday afternoon about 4 o'clock, surrounded by everybody that she loved.
That Saturday we had the Strikeout Cancer game for Mercy, and then that Sunday was Mother's Day.
She got to see a couple of Riley's games before the end. We always knew they were going to be the last game she'd ever go down to Mercy and see.
My biggest concern was for Riley. Really concerned about how she would be able to deal with it, and the stress of it, and knowing that her mom was dealing with this disease.
While Eileen was in the hospital, she wanted life to go on for the kids. It was her wish. It's getting a little easier. There's a lot less bad days than there is, than there was. It's difficult for me to articulate what Mercy meant to Eileen. But early in our relationship, when we lived in New York City, she told me all about all these great times she had in high school, and it was one of the highlights of her life. Excuse me. She missed her friends.
She would love to tell me stories about her and her friends at Mercy, and just like the lifelong friends she made. And I think we both have friends that we're gonna have for the rest of our lives from there.
Eileen was my very first friend. We immediately hit it off. We did everything together. We were in a lot of the same classes. We were in a lot of the same clubs. We did ski club together. We're just inseparable once we met each other. Eileen was at Mercy very much like she was the day that she passed away. She was loving, kind, supportive, hysterical. She always had everybody laughing, very loyal, and just a wonderful friend.
Until she died, she was still very, very good friends with all of those girls. And all of the girls, every one of them would call her, text her, and try and stay in contact with her. And Margaret would be up at the hospital almost every day with her, and would give her great comfort.
She told me she had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and it was pretty bad. And she wanted to come over and see me. As a functional medicine practitioner, I was looking at different things that might have triggered it or ways to alleviate some of her discomfort. And we worked together, just focusing on her comfort at that point.
Margaret is involved with these healing oils, and it's one of the fondest memories I remember of her rubbing the healing oil on Eileen's hands and seeing the deep breaths she'd take, and you could see her eyelashes and eyes move, and she took tremendously comfort from Margaret doing those things. And Margaret was a great friend at Mercy and was a great friend throughout her life.
I was with her every day.
I would often hear Eileen, her mom, Kathy, and Riley just talk about traveling the same halls and some of the same nuns and some of the same kind of memories. And it'd be fun sitting here, just listening to them talk about that when I never had those opportunities. So it made me very happy. I did not expect the support I got. I kind of expected the support that Riley got. I knew it was a good institution.
I didn't really expect the amount of support we got, but I knew they would be there somehow because that's what they preach at Mercy, is like, you'll always have the circle of Mercy. And we definitely did. There were friends everywhere. And, you know, I didn't expect it in that, like, amount.
Honestly, I just tried to be there for Riley and her family the best I could. They're like a second family to me, so I just wanted to provide support. I would go to the hospital if they needed someone to be with her.
And we would come home and there'd be like flowers on our front doorstep from Dr. Kilbridge sent us flowers, Pam Baker sent us flowers. Like, we had just like the amount of people that were like helping us out. It made me kind of distracted from it, that I was like, oh, like, I'm not doing this alone.
It was tremendous support to know that Riley, when at Mercy, she had the support, the friendship, and to keep her going, and that in its own was tremendous support.
One of the things that we always know is through Catherine McCauley, of course. She says to be the shining lamp for everyone and bring light onto all those around you.
I wanted to help just because Riley and I were so close. They were like a family to me, and I couldn't imagine what she was going through, so I just wanted to be able to take some of that burden off of her in any way that I could.
There was certain ways that I got support. I mean, I got a handwritten note from a teacher or a nun down there I never knew. You'd get an email from somebody. I got several phone calls from Pam Baker and her staff to make sure we're all doing okay. Every parent, every friend that Riley had reached out to make sure we're doing okay. We'd come home and there'd be stuff left for us in the garage. And that hasn't even stopped today. Some days I come home and people are still supporting us.
It kind of reached out to me, knowing my background as a certified financial planner, and it basically asked me to help. And I was glad to do it any way I could, and that was really what I did for them.
Coach Sylvester is probably like the one person that did the most without me knowing it. He was always with my dad helping with financial stuff. I definitely expected that from Coach Sylvester. He's just that type of person. He's there like for anything you need at any time of the day.
Rick at so many times has come down here to help me with stuff, with taxes and with college applications, stuff I was really lost and worried about. And he was there for me. I'll never forget it. And again, he's part of somebody I met through the Mercy family. If Riley had never went down there, I would never have known Rick.
The Mercy family means everything to me. I mean, I spent 4 years in high school with them and 2 years in middle school with everyone there. So you get to know people like as much as your family, you're spending as much time with them.
The situation we found ourselves in is not anything I would like anybody else to go through. And without Mercy being financially strong, I don't think they could offer the support that I got. It's just a great institution. The stronger we make that institution, the more support they can offer to other families.
Giving back to Mercy means that they can give back to their students if they need it, even if it's donating some money or sending your child there. Me going to Mercy and my mom going to Mercy and my grandma going to Mercy, I knew that that would be there, and it wouldn't have been there without all the people giving back beforehand.
It's shaping our girls' minds. It's making them stronger, independent women.
It's so important for people to give back to Mercy. They provide such a good education and foundation. I definitely couldn't have been as supportive as I was to Riley during this time without what I'd learned there about compassion, empathy, and friendship. And I think for anyone in her family's position, Mercy was a great place to be.
You know, without our financial support, I don't think they could do as much as they do, you know? I just think it's one of the best institutions I've ever run across. I'd give it my support any way I can, and I hope it's around for another 100 years.
You know, I happen to have some experience at softball, so I can give back with that. I happen to have some experience as a financial advisor, so I can help out the Mahars in that regard. Other people may not have that skill sets, but there are other ways that they can help.
Mercy has created an environment, a community where they encourage growth and everybody's potential. It just lets somebody be their true self. So for all of us that have gone to Mercy, our best have come out in those years because of the environment that Mercy has created and the encouragement that they give you.